Go.
Hello guys, today we're in the ocean only world. So there's only ocean around here. So it's an ocean world only. So as you can see, this is the weirdest world you guys ever seen in Minecraft. As you can see, we're going so deep that we can't go back up. Today we're going to test some weird worlds in Minecraft. Okay. So why is this that stiff? Leave it. Try to go back up to the surface. How about if we can spawn a stronghold over here? First spectate world. Oh, okay. This is... Oh, now it works. How about let's try to place a stronghold. So what happened in here? So let's go spectate world. So interesting, nothing seems to have happened. So nothing seems to have happened. Ooh, the stronghold just somehow generated underwater. The stronghold is the weirdest stronghold ever. Yep, this is really the weirdest stronghold. Like, really? How on earth could we have generated here? And now it's time to test another crazy world. And I can't quit. Okay, now we can quit. And then... Okay, not here. Then we create a new world. Spot, and then we customize it. How about if we use top layer? Done. So this will be like the weirdest world in Minecraft. Oh, oopsie. Okay, wait. Now I'm creative. So we're at minus 56. So we don't mind if we go down. We're under bedrock. Okay, how about we generate a village? Okay, I don't know one's like this. Come on. Okay, now if we place a village, what will happen over here? It's become a village. Village plains. Okay, this is so weird. So this is basically our minimum build limit height. So look. Look, this is dark, so all the animals fall down there. So if we place a stronghold, the stronghold just spawns up here. Huh, weird, isn't it? Look. Now it's just floating up here. So how are you supposed to enter the portal room? Just enter the portal room is right over here. Okay, so this is the weirdest world so far. Okay, so let's try to place a... If you don't mind, you can place... How about we place a mine shaft? We place it. I think the mine shaft is here. Okay, the mine shaft is here. Okay, this is so weird. Look at these blocks like floating here. I wonder if you... okay, no, not today. Okay, so I wonder if we place a village again, what will happen? Okay, so it turns out the village, he hasn't spawned up there. How about if we go and place trial chamber? So the trial chamber is the weirdest trial chamber I've ever seen in Minecraft. Interesting. So this is the real trial chamber. And you don't get achievement for entering it. Yep. So this is the weirdest trial chamber again. So let's do another world. Let's try a super flat world again. And okay, what the heck? So use this. What's redstone ready? Okay, not this. How about it? Never tried bottomless pit. No, maybe we have to. No, wait, this will be even weirder. Go to the void biome. Wait, how about the seed is? Okay, I don't think. And then if you Soul Sand Valley, Spraced Jungle. I wonder what's a Spraced Jungle, because this is basically just a jungle. Why is it called Spraced Jungle? Okay, so this is weird. This is Nothing. There's nothing, okay? So how about the weirdest world in Minecraft? Not really the weirdest world, but if you enter Bastion and you put bonus chest on and game mode creative and it's large biomes, amplify, you find yourself in a big amplified terrain. Look, you will find lots of chickens huddled together, and the chest contains a stone pickaxe. Oh, right here. Okay, we got to, and it will contain the tallest mountain you ever seen in Minecraft. And not far from the spawn point, there's just a crazy 4-block island, which is just 4 blocks. As you can see, we are so high that the mountains, and not far from the spawn, is also a village. Less than 300 blocks away from your home. And there's some very silly biomes over here, which is stupid because the villager's house don't have anything. Anyway, if you walk so far further, you just find yourself in this. Go for these coordinates and you find this kind of high mountain, which is almost the old height build limit. Look, it's 178 blocks tall. But if we go to these coordinates, these are about the Clouds Mountain, which is the weirdest mountain recorded in Minecraft. So, not really, but I think it is. Okay, enough. So this is 214 blocks high. And if I further, I think you'll see a taller mountain with the elevation of higher than 200, maybe. And here there might be a woodland mansion. If you go to these coordinates, you'll find a high mountain. You go and you command to go there. Wait, first locate the biome mountains. Wait, there's no mountains. Wait, I remember. It's deep, cold oceans. Okay, not that. So, I guess if we go further away, you see a floating island. And go to these coordinates, and you'll find a very high, just floating island, which you can build your base on. But be careful not to fall down over here, because you can't trip mine. Look. You look from above, this is just a cloud arena or something. And next to the floating island, we can see a tallest mountain in this Bastion seed, which is also floating. But instead, you'll find iron over here, which is so useful, and the vein is very big also. Not that big. Okay. Anyway, so this mountain is the highest mountain you have ever seen, and this mountain sometimes is a build limit. As you can see, if you build a bit higher, look, that's the build limit. And let's see if any of the mountains are the build limit. So far, if you go to this coordinate right here, this is the highest mountain, but I won't place the wooden planks for you. Place it by itself. Anyway, that's already insane, so the next thing you find is go to these coordinates, and you might find a village over here, which is the most useful village. That this village is funny. One house is generated in this cave, and this village is pretty small. Doesn't look like it wants to have a cave. But anyway, one house is on top of here, which is so far the tallest village house I have seen. And is this even a village? Okay, not that. So this is the tallest floating island, as you guys remember. And let's see if that one can beat this one. Because this one is incredibly high. And later we'll explore that cave. And not far from here, there's another tall mountain with this weird one chunk, which is really weird. Look at this world. Look at that, and look at this. It's the super fin. This super fin with one piece of iron. Okay, enough of that. And another insane thing is the cave. If you go to these coordinates, you find a big cave over here, in fact. And this cave is in the highest generation, so you can't really find anything, which is not a big cave at all. But also, you find iron, but something more insane up there. So this place, you see a good view of a pillager outpost and a ruined portal. Plus, sometimes ruined portal can give you full netherite armor, but not this one. In this chest, you find gold and stuff like that as normal. Gold and stuff, but this one has lots of lotus stones and is completely different from other chests. And if you go a bit higher, you will also find a pillager outpost if you go to this far coordinates, which are really so far away. You can find some pillager outposts. And I think this guy's trying to shoot at me because you can't. Gotta kill this person while I'm at it. Okay, he didn't drop anything useful. Okay, anyway, if you go to these coordinates, you find the tallest jagged peaks. I think this is the tallest one you ever seen, and is surrounded by the big pale garden rare biome in Minecraft. Just the best view for Minecraft that I ever seen, but if you see some more better views, tell me in the comments. But this one is already insane. Go to these coordinates, and it's none further than here. And this cave has completely no mobs, so you can go unarmed. Okay, so this is really OP, but be careful here. This might be powder snow somewhere. But this is so far the biggest jagged peaks biome I've ever seen. It expands all the way 1,000 blocks all the way back here Look, and it's still going, and it stops over there, which is super far away. And here is a rare chunk that is super rare. And this only has 2 blocks, and this chunk. Look at these 2 blocks, and 2 blocks are already pretty rare. But there's another 2 block right over here, and there's a 5 block over here. And then we go to these coordinates. You find this big meadows, but not only that, an L-shaped grass. Not that rare to find, but it's still very unique, so better find a village. Anyway, still, there's more to this seed. Over here, there's a big tunnel, but next to the tunnel, you find that the jagged peak still continuing over here, which is the highest peak so far. Highest snowy peaks. Don't mind Cat. Okay, he didn't drop anything. Anyway, this seed is already very OP. So the last thing in the seed is the cave. Don't need to bring torches since I'm a creator. It's so far from the spawn point. It's worth exploring here. Over here is a very large area, and this expands deep underground, which is not that deep, and you find a tremendous ocean cave down here, which you can explore by yourself. Glow squid over here. It expands until minus Y level, and until over here you might come out of the water, since the deep layer of deep slate ocean. And this is the rarest deep slate ocean. And down here you'll find deep dark ocean trigger warden. These are very rare already, officially rare. And you find deep dark over here, but it's thousands away from the rock. So this is very rare. And this is the rarest height for ancient city. So this is already a very rare height. So bye guys, and see you in the next video. This seed is already ready.